Japan has one of the lowest obesity rates on Earth, under 5%. And there's a reason for it. While the rest of the world struggles with rising waistlines, this island nation has quietly cracked something the diet industry doesn't want you to know. It's not about willpower. It's not about starving yourself. It's about what happens in a single hour after you open your eyes. No fancy supplements, no expensive programs, no complicated rules to memorize. Just a handful of small, repeatable choices made before the rest of the world has even had its first cup of coffee. Meet Yumiko. She's 68 and she still fits into the same jeans she wore at 25. No gym membership, no diet pills, no crazy cleanse. Just her mornings, 10 things she does before 9 a.m. She's never counted a calorie in her life. She's never done a single burpee. And yet, decade after decade, her body has stayed exactly where she wants it. Her friends have asked her secret for years, expecting some hidden trick or expensive routine. But the truth is almost disappointingly simple, and that's exactly why so many people overlook it. Stay till the end because habit number 7 alone is backed by real science, and it's the one almost everyone skips. It takes less than 5 minutes, costs almost nothing, and most people walk right past it every single morning. By the time we get there, you'll understand exactly why it matters. In fact, once you see the research behind it, you'll probably wonder why it isn't taught in schools or printed on the side of every kitchen cabinet. Warm water first, not coffee. It kickstarts digestion before food even touches her stomach. Cold water slows things down. Warm water wakes it up. Most of us reach for caffeine the second we're awake, shocking our system before it's even ready. Yumiko does the opposite. She gives her body a gentle nudge instead of a jolt, and that one small shift changes how everything else that morning is processed. It's a habit that takes less than 60 seconds, yet it sets the tone for how efficiently your body handles every meal that follows. Hara Hachibu. Eat until 80% full, not stuffed. This old Okinawan rule keeps insulin steady and metabolism running all day. It sounds simple, almost too simple to matter, but that 20% gap is the difference between a body that burns steadily and one that stores fat by mid-morning. It's a habit passed down for generations, long before anyone was counting macros. Okinawa, where this rule comes from, is famous for having some of the longest living people on the planet, and many researchers believe this single habit plays a bigger role than genetics ever could. Miso soup instead of sugary cereal. Fermented, gut-friendly, low sugar. A happy gut is directly linked to less belly fat. Where a Western breakfast often starts the day with a sugar spike, this one starts it with bacteria that actually work in your favor. Scientists are only now catching up to what Japanese kitchens have known for centuries. A single bowl contains a whole ecosystem of beneficial microbes, quietly working to keep inflammation down and digestion smooth for the rest of the day. Ragio Taiso, a 5-minute stretch ritual, done nationwide even by office workers before their commute. It's not a workout, just enough to switch your metabolism on. You'll see it in parks, in office courtyards, even on national television every morning. It's less about burning calories and more about telling your body it's time to wake up and start working. This routine has been broadcast on Japanese radio and TV since the 1920s, meaning entire generations have grown up with movement as the very first thing they do each day. Walking instead of driving. Thousands of steps before 9 a.m. without exercising. It's called NEAT, and over a lifetime, it burns more fat than an hour at the gym. No treadmill, no subscription, no motivation required. Just the ordinary act of getting from one place to another on foot. It adds up in ways most people never even notice. Multiply that by every single day for decades, and you start to understand why gym memberships aren't nearly as necessary as we've been led to believe. No phone for the first 10 minutes. Quiet tea, fresh air instead of scrolling. Checking notifications spikes cortisol, and cortisol is belly fat's best friend. The moment you check a screen, your brain shifts into alert mode, and that stress response lingers far longer than the 10 seconds it took to unlock your phone. Delaying it, even briefly, keeps your whole morning calmer. It's a tiny window of silence before the demands of the day rush in, and that silence is doing more for your waistline than you'd expect. Green tea instead of sugary drinks. Here it is. Matcha contains catechins proven to boost fat oxidation by up to 17%. Drink it before food, and your body burns fat instead of storing it. This is the one habit backed by hard clinical numbers, not just tradition, and it takes less effort than making a cup of coffee. If you only start with one habit from this list, this is the one. Multiple studies have found that this effect is strongest in the morning before your first meal, which makes timing just as important as the tea itself. A consistent wake-up time, no snooze culture. Same time daily, even weekends keeps hunger hormones in check. Sleeping in on weekends might feel like a reward, but it quietly resets your body's internal clock, leaving you hungrier and more sluggish by Monday. A steady rhythm, even when it's tempting to break it, keeps everything running smoothly. Your body thrives on predictability far more than most people realize, and a fixed wake time is one of the simplest ways to give it that. Fermented foods at breakfast. Natto, pickles, miso. Packed with probiotics that fight inflammation, one of the hidden drivers of visceral fat. These aren't trendy supplements. They're everyday staples that have quietly protected digestive health for generations. And chronic inflammation, the kind you can't see or feel, is often the real reason stubborn belly fat won't budge. Unlike a probiotic pill you might forget to take, these foods are simply part of the meal. No extra effort, no extra cost, no remembering required. Calm and gratitude before the rush. Chronic stress keeps cortisol high all day. Starting calm keeps it low from hour one. There's no rushing out the door in a panic, no scrolling through bad news before breakfast. Just a few quiet moments that set the tone for everything that follows. Proof that protecting your fat loss starts in your mind, not just your stomach. It's a reminder that stress isn't just an emotional problem, it's a physical one, and it shows up first around the midsection. So there it is, 10 morning habits backed by tradition and science that explain why belly fat is rare in Japan. None of them require a gym membership, a meal plan, or giving up your favorite foods entirely. They're small, almost boring changes, and that's exactly why they work so well long term. There's no shortcut hiding behind habit 11 or some secret step we left out. It really is the straightforward, which is often the hardest part to believe. You don't need to change your whole life, just your first hour. Pick the one habit that feels easiest to you, not the hardest, and build from there. Real change doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from doing one small thing consistently. A year from now, you'll either have 10 new habits or none at all, and the only difference will be what you choose to start tomorrow morning. Pick one habit from this list and start tomorrow. Comment which one you're choosing. I'll be checking. And if you already do one of these without realizing it, let me know that too. I'd love to hear it. Sometimes the smallest habit you've been doing for years turns out to be the exact reason something is already working in your favor. And if this helped, subscribe. Next week, what Japanese people eat for lunch that keeps them lean for life. Trust me, it's just as simple as these morning habits and just as easy to start. If mornings can make this much of a difference, just wait until you see what a single Japanese lunch tray looks like.